When I was 14, I told my mom someone was watching my bedroom window. She laughed, not because she thought it was funny, but because she thought I was being dramatic. We lived in a quiet suburb outside of Boise, Idaho. One of those neighborhoods where nothing ever happens. No crime. No strangers walking around at night. Just cul-de-sacs and porch lights. The first time I noticed him was around 10:30 p.m. I was sitting at my desk doing homework when I felt that strange sensation you get when someone is staring at you. I looked up. My blinds were half open, and beyond the glass, across the street, was a parked car. Headlights off, engine running. I could see the faint glow from the dashboard. I stood there for a full minute watching it. It didn't move. Eventually, it drove away. I told my mom. She said, probably someone waiting for a kid. That was the end of the conversation. It happened again 2 nights later. Same time, same spot, same car. This time I watched longer. The driver's side window was slightly down. I couldn't see a face, but I could feel it. The car stayed for nearly 20 minutes. When I told my mom again, she got annoyed. She said I needed to stop obsessing over nothing. My dad told me to close my blinds if it bothered me that much. So I did, but the feeling didn't stop. One night around 1 a.m., I woke up for no reason. The house was silent. I checked my phone. 1:17 a.m. I don't know why, but I walked to my window. I lifted the edge of the blind just a little. The car was there, closer this time, parked directly in front of our house. My heart started pounding. The engine wasn't running. The interior light flicked on for a split second, and I saw movement. Someone leaning forward, looking up at my window. I ran to my parents' room. My dad was irritated before I even finished explaining. He walked to my room, pulled the blind up completely, and stood there. The street was empty. No car. He turned to me and said, "See?" I didn't sleep the rest of the night. Over the next week, small things started happening. My bedroom screen had a small tear in it. My mom said it was probably old. Our side gate was left open one morning. My dad blamed the wind. Then one afternoon after school, I walked into my room and froze. My desk chair had been moved, just slightly, facing the window. I never leave it like that. I told my mom again. This time she got angry. She said I was trying to scare myself, that I was watching too many crime videos. 3 nights later, it escalated. I was lying in bed around 11:40 p.m. when I heard something outside. Not a car. Footsteps. On gravel. Slow. Deliberate. Moving along the side of our house. I couldn't breathe. I called my mom from my room instead of yelling. She answered, annoyed. I whispered, "Someone's outside." She said, "Go to sleep." Then I heard it. A soft metallic sound, like someone gently touching the window frame. Testing it. I screamed. My dad ran outside with a flashlight. This time he saw him. A man running toward the street. He didn't catch him, but under my window, in the dirt, were footprints. And something else. A folding knife. Dropped in the grass. The police found the car 2 blocks away. Inside were binoculars and printed photos of my bedroom window, taken from across the street. Different nights, different angles. My parents never apologized. They didn't know how, but I saw it in my mom's face after that. The guilt, the realization, because the scariest part wasn't that someone was watching me. It was that I had to convince my own parents before they believed I was in danger. This happened when I was 16, living in a small town outside Knoxville, Tennessee. Our house sat at the edge of a wooded area, not isolated exactly, but close enough that the tree line started about 30 feet behind my bedroom window. I used to like that until I started seeing him. The first time was around 9:45 p.m. I was sitting on my bed scrolling through my phone when something moved in the corner of my vision. At first I thought it was just branches swaying, but the wind wasn't blowing. I looked closer. There was a shape between the trees, not fully visible, but tall, still, watching. I blinked and it stepped back into darkness. I told my dad. He didn't even look up from the TV. "It's deer," he said. "It's not deer," I replied. He laughed. "You've been watching too much true crime." That became the explanation for everything. A few nights later, I heard tapping, soft, rhythmic, against my window. I froze. 3 taps. Pause. 3 taps again. I turned on my lamp. Nothing was there. The next morning, I found small pebbles on the ground below the window. I showed my dad. He said squirrels knock stuff loose all the time. It escalated slowly, like whoever it was knew not to do too much at once. One night at 12:32 a.m., I woke up because my room felt wrong, too quiet. I sat up and listened. Then I heard breathing, not inside the room, outside, close to the glass, slow, steady. I didn't move. I didn't want whoever was out there to know I was awake. After about 30 seconds, the breathing stopped. Then footsteps, walking back toward the trees. The next morning, I checked the yard. There were footprints, clear ones, not deer, boot prints, facing my window. I took a photo and showed my dad. He stared at it longer this time, but he still said probably some kid cutting through the woods. That was the first time I felt angry instead of scared, because I knew he didn't believe me. 3 nights later, it happened again, but closer. At 1:08 a.m., I heard something scrape against the side of the house. Metal against siding. I forced myself to look, and I wish I hadn't. There was a man standing less than 5 feet from my window. Not hidden, not pretending to be a shadow, just standing there, looking directly at me. He didn't move when I gasped. He smiled. Then he slowly raised one hand and tapped on the glass. I screamed for my dad. This time he came running. By the time he got to my room, the yard was empty. He stormed outside with a flashlight. I watched from my window. He swept the beam across the trees. And then I saw it. The light landed on someone, standing just inside the tree line, watching us. My dad froze. The man didn't run immediately. He just stood there, like he knew something. Then he disappeared into the woods. Police came that night. They searched the area. They didn't find him, but they did find something else. A small camping spot about 50 yards into the woods. Empty food wrappers, a blanket, and a folding chair, positioned directly toward our house, toward my window. That wasn't the worst part. The worst part was what they found inside the chair. A cheap digital camera, still turned on, filled with photos of me at my desk, on my bed, at my window, taken through the glass. Over weeks, my dad doesn't dismiss things anymore. He double-checks locks now. He installed floodlights. He doesn't laugh when I say something feels wrong. But sometimes I think about how long that man had been there, watching, breathing, waiting. And I wonder how much further it would have gone if I had stopped insisting someone was outside. This happened in 2016 when I was 15, living in a suburb outside Des Moines, Iowa. I started telling my mom someone was coming into my room at night. Not every night, just sometimes. At first, it was small things. My closet door would be slightly open when I always kept it shut. My desk drawer would be pulled out just a little. Once, my bedroom door was cracked open when I was certain I'd closed it before bed. I told my mom. She sighed and said, "You're just forgetting." I wasn't forgetting. Then it got worse. Around 2 a.m., I'd wake up feeling like someone had just left the room. Not hearing them, not seeing them, just that heavy feeling in the air. One morning, I woke up and my blanket had been pulled down to my waist. I sleep wrapped tight. I don't move much. I asked my mom if she had come in. She looked at me strangely. Why would I do that? I didn't know, but someone had. My dad worked night shifts at a distribution center. He usually left around 9:30 p.m. and didn't get home until after 6 a.m. That mattered later. At the time, I just started locking my bedroom door. My mom hated that. She said it was disrespectful. She said I was acting paranoid. So I stopped. That was my mistake. One night around 1:47 a.m., I woke up suddenly. Not gradually. Like someone had shaken me. The hallway light was on. It never stayed on overnight. I could see the glow under my door. Then I heard it. A slow step. Outside my room. Pause. Another step. I held my breath. The doorknob turned. Slowly. Quietly. Like whoever it was didn't want to wake me. But I was already awake. The door opened just a few inches. I shut my eyes and pretended to be asleep. I heard breathing. Inside my room. Close. Too close. Then the mattress dipped slightly near my feet. Someone was sitting on the edge of my bed. I could feel the weight. After about 10 seconds, it lifted. Footsteps moved back toward the door. The hallway light shut off. Silence. The next morning, I told my mom everything. She didn't even look concerned. She looked annoyed. She said I was dreaming. I told her I wasn't. She said, "Your father would never." I hadn't even mentioned my dad. That's when something clicked. Not because I thought she knew, but because of how fast she defended him. I checked our home office computer that afternoon while she was at work. My dad didn't log out of things. I didn't know what I was looking for until I found it. A folder labeled backups. Inside were dozens of short video clips, all time-stamped between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m., all recorded from a small hidden camera, mounted high in the corner of my bedroom. I couldn't breathe. I opened one. It showed my room, dark, quiet. Then the door slowly opening. My dad walking in, sitting on the edge of my bed, watching me sleep, not touching me, not speaking, just sitting there for minutes, then leaving. I checked the timestamps. He had left for work at 9:30 p.m., but the videos were from 2 a.m., which meant he hadn't been going to work at all, at least not every night. When I confronted my mom, she broke down. Not shocked, not confused, just exhausted. She said she thought it would stop. She said he promised he wasn't doing anything wrong. She said he just missed when I was little. I moved out 2 weeks later. My aunt took me in. There were legal consequences, therapy, family court, all of that. But what still keeps me awake sometimes isn't the videos. It's the part one can't explain. The nights I woke up feeling like someone had just left. Before I even knew the camera was there. Before I even knew the door had opened. Because somewhere deep down, I already knew, and no one believed me. This happened in 2017 when I was 13, living in a quiet neighborhood outside Sacramento, California. I started sleepwalking. At least, that's what my parents told me. The first time it happened, my mom found me standing in the kitchen at 2:18 a.m. I don't remember it. She laughed about it the next morning like it was funny. "You were just staring at the fridge," she said. I felt embarrassed, but something about it didn't sit right. Then it started happening more often. I'd wake up in places that didn't make sense. Once on the couch, once sitting on the stairs, once outside on the back patio at 3:07 a.m. That one scared me. The sliding door was closed when I went to bed. Locked. My dad insisted I must have unlocked it myself. He said sleepwalking can be powerful. You can do full routines and not remember. That explanation became their answer for everything. But then things changed. I started waking up with scratches on my arms. Not deep, but long, like fingernails. My mom said I must be brushing against things while walking. I told her they were too straight, too deliberate. She said I was overthinking it. One night at 1:54 a.m., I woke up in my bed. But I wasn't alone. I could feel it, that heavy presence feeling, like someone had just moved away. I opened my eyes slowly. My bedroom door was open. The hallway light was on. I don't sleep with the door open, ever. I sat up and looked at the clock. 1:55 a.m. Then I heard it. Footsteps. Slow. Down the hallway. My dad's footsteps. I know how he walks. I stepped out of bed and looked down the hall. He was walking back toward his room. Calm. Unhurried. Like nothing was wrong. The next morning, I asked him if he had checked on me. He didn't hesitate. No. Too fast. That afternoon, I decided to test something. I pushed a small piece of clear tape along the edge of my door frame. Barely visible. If the door opened fully, it would break. That night, I went to sleep around 11:30 p.m. When I woke up at 6:42 a.m., the tape was torn, cleanly, but the door was closed. I showed my mom. She looked uncomfortable, but she still defended him. She said maybe I got up and forgot again, so I did something else. I set my phone to record video overnight, face down on my dresser. Not obvious, just enough to catch movement near the door. At 2:03 a.m., the video picked up. The door opening. Slowly. My dad stepping inside. Standing near my bed. Watching me. For almost 3 full minutes. Then reaching down. Not violently. Not aggressively. Just adjusting my blanket. Then brushing his hand lightly across my arm. That's when I saw it. His fingernails. Longer than I realized. The scratches weren't from furniture. They weren't from sleepwalking. They were from him. When I showed my mom the video, she didn't cry. She didn't yell. She just sat there, quiet. Then she said the worst sentence I've ever heard. He doesn't mean anything by it. I don't live there anymore. There were investigations, counselors, family court. But sometimes I still think about the part that scares me the most. It wasn't the scratches. It wasn't the door opening. It wasn't even the recording. It was how easily the explanation changed. From, "You're imagining it," to, "It's not that bad." And I learned something that year. Sometimes the scariest part isn't what's happening in the dark. It's the person who keeps turning the light off. This happened in 2015 when I was 14, living in a small suburb outside Portland, Oregon. I started hearing someone call my name at night. Not loud, not screaming, just soft, like someone standing at the end of the hallway. Evan. The first time it happened, I checked the clock. 12:41 a.m. I sat up and listened. Nothing. I assumed I was half asleep, but it kept happening. Always between 12:30 and 2 a.m. Sometimes it sounded closer, sometimes farther away. Always calm, always familiar. I told my mom. She rolled her eyes. She said houses make noise. Pipes, air vents, wood settling. I told her it wasn't noise. It was my name. She said I was trying to scare myself. My dad said I was looking for attention. After that, I stopped mentioning it. Then the notes started. The first one was on my desk after school. Just 3 words written in black pen. I see you. I thought it was my little sister trying to mess with me. She swore it wasn't her. The handwriting didn't look like hers. I showed my parents. My dad laughed. He said I probably wrote it myself. That accusation stuck with me because I hadn't. A week later, I found another note. This one taped to the inside of my closet door. You should listen. I didn't tell anyone that time. Instead, I did something simple. I took a photo of the note before touching it. Then I left it there. The next morning, it was gone. Completely gone. When I asked my mom if she'd cleaned my room, she said no. One night at 1:18 a.m., I woke up to the sound of my bedroom door opening. Not the voice. The door. Slowly. I stayed still. I watched through half-closed eyes. The hallway light was off, but I could see a silhouette in the doorway. Tall. Still. I whispered, "Dad." The figure stepped back immediately. The door closed. I heard footsteps down the hall. The next morning, I checked something. Our hallway had old hardwood floors that creaked in specific spots. I knew exactly where they were. If someone walked past my room, I would hear it. But that night, I hadn't, which meant whoever it was knew where to step. I decided to set my phone to record audio overnight. Nothing dramatic, just voice memos running while I slept. At 12:53 a.m., it captured it. The door opening. A whisper. Close to the phone. Evan. Clear. Not distorted. Not pipes. Not imagination. A real voice. The next part is what still unsettles me. At 12:55 a.m., another sound. My dad's voice. From farther down the hallway. Go back to bed. Not loud. Not angry. Just quiet. Resigned. I confronted him the next morning. He didn't deny walking past my room. He said he heard me talking in my sleep. He said he was checking on me. I played the recording. He listened. His face changed. Not shocked. Just tired. He told me to delete it. I didn't. Instead, I went to my aunt's house after school and showed her. She called the police. They searched our attic that evening. That's where they found him. A man who had been living above our house for weeks, accessing the crawl space through a loose panel in the garage ceiling. He knew the floorboards. He knew the layout. He had been listening, waiting, writing notes. The police said he likely entered while my dad was at work. But my dad hadn't worked nights in months. He just hadn't told anyone he'd changed shifts, which meant he was home every night when the voice called my name. What haunts me isn't that a stranger was in the attic. It's that my dad heard it too and chose to call it attention. Because sometimes the most terrifying part of growing up is realizing the adults heard it and decided it wasn't worth believing you.